Intel's Core Ultra 200S series of CPUs are finally arriving at the end of October. But are we getting the performance we're expecting? Can we still trust Intel? Get ready to hear the word parity a lot. Hey, what's cracking everybody? Welcome back to Computer Games Hardware. Today on the channel, we are checking out the launch briefing of Intel's Core Ultra 200S series of CPUs. It's a new generation. We're looking at Arrow Lake, which is set to be released at the end of October. Now, the embargo for the launch briefing lifted last Thursday actually, but I've been a little bit busy. I've been out in the world with family stuff, and today, the day we're filming this, is actually Computer Games Louise's birthday. So happy birthday to you, honey. I love you very much. Thank you for everything you do for us, putting up with all this and supporting the channel and looking after the kids. We love you very, very much. We hope you have a lovely day. Yeah, so I've just been busy. I had to go outside this week. So, you know, we had wedding stuff, we had some party stuff to plan for. I had to go outside. Someone's really got to turn the graphics up out there. Anyway, and I probably know that by the time you're watching this, this will be the a millionth Arrow Lake video that's probably come across your feed. But I think I've got a few little tidbits that you know might contribute to the conversation a little bit. And you know, we've been dying for some concrete, juicy computer hardware stuff. So, you know, this is the stuff we've been waiting for on the channel. So I'm looking forward to talking about it. Now, I'll try to keep this one as short as possible, but there's actually a ton of stuff to talk about. So strap in. You can also look at the timestamps for the most interesting bits toward you. So I put that in all my videos, so feel free to do that, and let's get stuck into it. All right, so let's take a look at these bad boys. First up, we've got the Intel Core Ultra 9 285Ks. This is a 24-core CPU that consists of 8 performance cores and 16 efficiency cores for a total of 24 cores. Now, this thing also has 24 threads. It's got 4 Xe GPU cores. It also comes with an NPU, and it boosts up to 5.7 gigahertz. Next up, we have the Intel Core Ultra 7, the 265Ks, which drops 4 cores, so you get 8 performance cores and 12 efficiency cores in this CPU for a total of 20 cores correlating to 20 threads. This also has 4 Xe GPU cores, an NPU, and this one boosts to 5.5 gigahertz. Next up, we have the Intel Core Ultra 7 265KF. This is very similar to the K model that has 20 cores consisting of 8 performance and 12 efficiency cores. It has 20 threads, but this one does not have the Intel graphics, the integrated graphics. It has the same NPU and a boost to 5.5 gigahertz as well. Next up, we've got the Intel Core Ultra 5, and this is the 245K. It's a 14-core CPU consisting of 6 performance cores and 8 efficiency cores, for a total of 14 cores and 14 threads. This one does have the Xe GPU cores, the NPU, and boost to 5.2 gigahertz. And much like you would expect, the Core Ultra 5 245KF also consists of 14 cores with 6 P cores, 8 efficiency cores, for a total of 14, and then 14 threads as well. This one doesn't have the Xe GPU cores, and this also has an NPU and boosts up to 5.2 gigahertz. So quite a nice little stack there. So you might have noticed that the thread count is the same as the core count, and I've saw some conversations going on Reddit and places like that where people were talking about Jay's 2 cents video and saying that Intel has got rid of multi multi-threaded performance and things like that. I don't think that's the case. I haven't seen that video, but I think they might be conflating multi-threaded performance and hyper-threading. So they've gotten rid of hyper-threading, and now each individual core has one correlating thread, but I don't think that is going to affect the multi-threaded performance. In fact, as we go through these slides, you'll see that Intel mentions multi-threaded performance many times over again. Let's have a look at the compute tile layout floor plan. So Intel has introduced a tile layout for this generation of CPUs. It's kind of like a monolithic layout, but each section is done in tiles and they mount together on a base tile to keep everything together. So you might notice that they go to pains not to say chiplet or mention glue or anything like that, after they gave grief to AMD for so many years for having their chiplet design and, you know, gluing 6 core parts together and things like that. You can see you've got your base tile there, which holds everything together, with the compute tile taking up most of the space on that base tile there. You've also got the IO and the SoC tiles separate, which will come into play a little bit later. Interesting there is also a filler tile. So there's actually a little bit more room on this die, which I haven't noticed many people talk about, which I'm guessing will be an AI MPU space that is going to be filled. Almost certainly they're reserving some headroom for that in future generations. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. And finally, at the top, we've got the GPU tile, which features Xe LPG GPU with some cool new codecs and features. So more on that later as well. Hey, just want to jump in here and say, if you're enjoying any of the content on Computer Games Hardware, please chuck us a like, share, and subscribe. And watching the videos really helps me out, and you guys have been doing that, so from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. So all the OGs and everyone who's just subscribed, great to have you here. Appreciate you all. You can check out all our affiliate links and our socials in the description below. All right, first up, let's talk about the expectations. Now, this was one of the better presentations from Intel, and unlike the Zen 5 launch, they went to pains again to temper everybody's expectations about what to expect with Arrow Lake. So what they're doing is outlining the goals for Arrow Lake, and it basically comes down to 2 groups. So we've got goals for performance per watt and then goals for user experience. And let's just break those down a little bit. So they've got reducing package power by at least 40%, delivering 15% generational multi-threaded performance. So there we go, we've seen it there first. So anyone who's panicking about not having multi-threaded, just calm the farm with that a little bit. And they're talking about delivering 15% generational multi-threaded performance while maintaining gaming performance. And I can't stress to you enough the maintaining part. They also talk about the user experience here. So what they're saying is they want to expand AI acceleration to enthusiasts, integrate Intel Xe graphics into their newest CPU that comes with a whole bunch of goodies, and reduce package temperatures at least by 10% while gaming. So it's clear that Intel is focusing on efficiency here and a cooler gaming experience. And I'm not talking about cool as in a Gen X movie in the 90s.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Now, this is something that Intel desperately needed to do because, as we all know, Intel have been maximizing their gaming performance by upping the power draw since at least the 10th gen, which has led to the 13th and 14th generation degradation and instability issues that we've been suffering through lately. So it's been a really important goal for Intel to bring those temperatures down and make things more reasonable. I think we learnt that we hit peak CPU and the power draw is just too much. As a result of all this, the CPUs have just been too damn hot, and it's been actually uncomfortable for gamers to sit with their rig in their gaming rooms and play comfortably with the temperatures and the noise. It's just been unbearable. So we've gotten to the point where the power has gone way beyond what is manageable. Now, having said that, this strategy had produced world-class gaming performance in previous generations, which people, including myself, have come to expect with a new generation of CPUs. So Intel have shot themselves in the foot a little bit in that respect by going so hard on the power draw and not managing the architecture. So this is what they're trying to do. Intel are making it absolutely clear that they're not focusing on gaming performance here. What they're doing is revolutionizing their architecture for power efficiency. So have a look at this. So what they're saying here is that they're introducing a cooler and more efficient gaming CPU with the same performance at half the power of Raptor Lake. So they've got the highest multi-threaded performance, up to 24 cores for the industry-leading compute throughput on desktop PCs. So your multi-threaded performance is still there, guys. Don't panic about that. There is a feature-rich enthusiast experience with the Intel Xe graphics and the new AI PC integrations and Thunderbolt 4 as well. We'll talk a bit more on the I/O a bit later. Okay, so check this out. What they're saying here is that the flagship Intel Core Ultra 285K, and don't get me started on the names, that's for a whole nother video. Anyway, it's providing the same performance as the 14900K at half the power. So that is pretty good, but as we said before, it was Intel that gave us the 13 and the 14900K that could pull over 400 watts. So, pot calling the kettle black a little bit here, So what you're getting here is much better IPC uplift. You're getting way better performance, particularly from the efficiency cores. They're getting a huge IPC uplift of 32%, and the P cores are getting a 9% uplift, which is pretty reasonable as well. Also, the P cores are getting up to 32 megabytes of shared level 3 cache, last level cache. I'm sorry. So the long and short of it is your efficiency cores are not going to be relegated to just the most basic applications going forward. All right, so Intel in their slides talk a bunch about AI.
Let's talk about AI.
I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but Core Ultra CPUs have all the AI things, including AI-based power management, whatever that means, an MPU. So this is Intel's first AI desktop part. They tell us, how important AI is going to be from gaming.
AI is already making inroads into the gaming market, and we believe that AI will start transforming the gaming experience over the next few years.
Look, I wouldn't take that too seriously because I think everyone can appreciate that the AI generation is coming with the GPUs. AI workloads like frame generation and all these sort of things, it's going to be your GPU. And Intel talk a bunch about how you're going to pair this with this part with a discrete graphics card anyway.
We also expect that gamers will attach a significant discrete GPU to this product.
So, they go into how, there's going to be a big increase in AI optimization over the next 24 months and things like that. So they're going pretty hard on the, you don't know what this is, but trust me, bro, you need it. They also really want to highlight that, this has way better AI performance than the 9950X. So there you go. All right, so what about gaming, guys? Here's where the disappointment kicks in a little bit. Intel spend a little bit of time here showing parity in most of their games compared to the 14900K. So as I said, peak CPU, 14900K, the 7800 X3D, still the kings of gaming in the previous generation. So that is unfortunate. So what they're talking about here is most games performing on par with the 14900K but using way less power. So you can see in this slide, the Core Ultra 9 285K at 125 watts is performing the same as the 14900K at 250 watts. So that's a massive improvement. It's great, and you know, you can push that 14900K way beyond that as well. But that's where degradation's kicking in. So they're telling you here a little bit of like, we've given you the performance you want at half the power. So it's going to be nice and cool, and you're going to get the experience that you expect. That's sort of what I take from this presentation from Intel this time around. So when you consider all this, it looks like AMD and Intel are not providing the gaming performance uplift that most of us were probably expecting. So that's probably a bit of a bummer for most people, myself included. I was expecting a little bit more. I didn't think they were going to go so hard on the efficiency. I think Intel pride themselves on, in previous generations, they've been priding themselves on taking that gaming performance crown. But it's also clear to me that the AI performance and all that stuff is becoming more important to Intel, AMD, clearly NVIDIA. So they've needed to make room for that, because that's where the future of their companies lie, obviously. So being the gaming performance king is no longer the main priority of any of these huge companies. So I think that's just where we are, and why they've had to pare things back a little bit. I think what Intel are doing is smart here. They're still remembering that we're all gamers and things like that, but they're just taking a little bit of a right turn into their future with, AI generation and all that sort of stuff. So if you're not thrilled with the gaming performance, there are still a couple of reasons to upgrade to Intel's new platform. One of them is the integrated graphics. The iGPU here has 4 cores of Intel Xe graphics with 4 ray tracing units. It has full XeSS support, AI acceleration instructions. It's got 4 megabytes of level 2 cache, and it comes with Intel Arc's full software stack. Intel say also that the Xe Media Engine has world-class codec support, including hardware acceleration, support for 4K and 8K for Sony's new XAVC codec. So that's a big one for creators there, and that's on a pretty small tile there, so that's pretty impressive. So next up, we've got the 800 series chipset, and unlike Zen 5, Intel have introduced a whole new platform for the 800 series chipset with a new LGA socket, LGA 1851. So that means new motherboard is mandatory for all chips, and generally Intel isn't as generous with their longevity of their chipsets as AMD are, and they don't often talk about it. They don't make it a feature. So I wouldn't even be surprised if this is a one and done series chipset, because of the advances in all that API and MPU and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see. I would have thought that they would have been saying, hey guys, we're going to support this like way into 2030. We're going to make sure that you get your money's worth out of this, as a way to, coax back some buyers and provide some reassurance. But they haven't done that this time around. So don't expect this to be a long supported CPU socket. So what you do get though is you get integrated support for Thunderbolt 4, and then you get optional Thunderbolt 5 support for the new chipset. So that's really exciting. That's something that's really interesting to me, because those high-end motherboards are going to be pretty exciting on Intel's side. You also get 48 lanes of PCIe from the CPU and the chipset. 20 of them are PCIe Gen 5. So that is a big increase, and that gives us a whole lot of support. So you get up to 24 lanes of PCIe 4, you've got up to 10 USB 3.2, you got 5 times 20 gig options, 10 times 10 gig options, and 10 times 5 gig options. You got up to 14 times USB 2.0 and 8 SATA 3.0. It's going to be a pretty healthy I/O situation on the back of some of those high-end motherboards. We did an X870 motherboard roundup where you guys helped me pick the motherboard that I want to use for my next build. Do you want to see a similar video for the Intel motherboards that are set to be released? Let me know in the comments down below. You also get Thunderbolt Share, which brings PC to PC screen sharings, more peripherals and storage sharing. You get faster data transfer, optional Wi-Fi 7, which will probably become standard on most of the motherboards, I would assume. And then you've also got Bluetooth 5.4 incoming, so that's pretty cool as well. Another reason to potentially upgrade to Intel's new Core Ultra platform is overclocking. If you're interested in overclocking, the word on the street is there's up to 10% headroom in these CPUs for overclock opportunities. And Intel wants you to know about it. Better fine tuning with top turbo frequency of 16.6 megahertz for P cores and E cores. Separate tiles for the base clock and the SoC, so you can run those frequencies separately, which will really help overclocking performance. As we said, P and E core overclocking and memory. They've got a new XMP memory controller. Overvolting that lets you bypass the voltage limits as the chip gets cooler. And they're even providing some bloatware for you guys with the Intel Extreme overclocking utility. So they're going pretty hard on that. So you might be able to find some extra performance and get a little bit more out of these parts than you bargained for. So, you know, for overclockers, there might be something interesting there. All right, so let's talk about what's disappointing. So as you guys know, this is Computer Games Hardware, and I'm always going to find something to whinge about. So for me, as usual, it's around the price. Let me start by saying I don't think the pricing is too bad. I think you're getting a lot for your money within this new architecture. But if you're looking for the gaming performance that, you know, we've come to accept, you're certainly going to be disappointed. However, what's disappointed me is, again, I thought that Intel would be really pushing to win back some of the good faith of their consumers. And they haven't done that. I was really expecting them to be a lot more aggressive on price. So let's break down what it's going to cost you for these CPUs. So for the Ultra 9 285K, you're looking at $589 US. Now, usually I just talk about the Australian dollars, but I've done the conversion for you guys. So in Australia, we're looking at 872 bucks. You know, not the worst, quite reasonable, but you know, you would have thought for, you know, make it 850, you know, really give people a reason to come out and buy these things and say like, hey, you know, Intel on the back end, and they're providing us with some good value. Win back some of the hearts and minds of people who have been bitterly disappointed, had their CPUs damaged beyond repair. So that's the really disappointing thing about that. For the Core Ultra 7, the 265K, you're looking at $394 US, and that's 583 bucks Australian. So again, you know, not bad, but I'm sure that there's some room to, you know, lower the price. It's part of the reason why I'm convinced that they're pushing the K SKUs really hard, is because the Ultra 7, the 265F, the non-integrated graphics part, the non-overclockable part, is $379. So that's only 23 bucks less than the K version. That's $561 Australian. So, you know, for 20 bucks less, you're losing the integrated graphics and you're losing all that overclocking capability. So something doesn't add up there. You're losing way more than $22. So something tells me that that is strictly an OEM option only, because there's no reason for you to buy the KF product. Buy the K, get the Intel graphics, all the codec support, all the latest codecs with world-class performance, and all the overclocking support. For $22, that's a pretty good deal there. So that's why Intel are pushing it, and it's same for the Core Ultra 5. So the Core Ultra 5 comes in at $309 US, and that's 457 Australian dollars. So again, you know, for $22 less for the Core Ultra 5, you're getting that at $294 US and $435 Australian. So, you know, you're not getting much of a discount. That is strictly a OEM product only. You know, you are going to pair this with a discrete graphics card, but it's good to have be able to run those codecs and have that performance there. So the and Intel do say that there are reasons to have that integrated graphics. It's not just going to be. It's not like the old days when it's not going to be doing anything. It's going to be providing extra support for you and work with your discrete GPU. So there you go. That's where my disappointment comes in after the degradation and the instability scandal that's plagued these CPUs that's plagued Intel for such a long time now. Look, now I do think you are getting your money's worth here, so I want to say that up front, and I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Intel have been modest about the performance. They haven't gone down the Zen 5 route and made these like overwhelming claims of gaming performance and world class and, you know, being the first in gaming performance or anything like that. So I think they've been extremely smart in marketing this and tempering people's expectations. However, I do think that they can run into the same trap as the Zen 5 launch did, and that's if performance is any worse than what they're claiming here. We know how like reviewers are going to respond. They're going to go for the jugular. So fair or not, the last 6 months with the instability and the degradation, and then if they aren't delivering what they're saying here, it's going to be like a kill shot. People will lose their minds. I'm telling you, it will be bad if you're not getting what they're providing here. So if it's not within the margin of error, I think people are going to look for anything to go after Intel on this one. So look, I think they deserve another chance. Things have not been good for a long time. If it was me in charge and I was managing like the redemption arc, which I'm surprised they haven't used that in their marketing as well. Maybe we have to wait for Battle Mage for that. I would have thought that they would have been a little more consumer focused this time around, a little more head between their tails and wanting people to come back to the brand and really embrace the brand. But I think it's a bit of business as usual here. They've tempered expectations. They've said, look, we're looking at efficiency, not performance, but things are going to get better in the future. So what do you guys think? Are you excited about the Core Ultra 200S series? Do you think Intel have done enough to win back the hearts of minds of, I'm going to say, loyal customers? Much like AMD, people are in their camps and things. I like to be right in the middle here at Computer Games Hardware. I know we've done a lot of AMD content and stuff like that, but I was really looking forward to this. And, when I saw it, I was like, okay, I did want to, maybe this was going to be the time to switch. But, they haven't really convinced me this type around. I think what they're doing is good, but it's making me want the next generation, not this generation. You know what I mean? So let me know what you guys think. Do you think they've done enough here to really make the Core Ultra series something to be excited about, or are you a little bit disappointed about the gaming performance? Do you guys care about NPUs and AI integrations and forecasts for AI gaming and stuff like that? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, again, there's not long to wait before these products are released, so we're looking at an October 24 release date, so get excited. Are you going to be running out to purchase some Intel products on the shelves? Do you guys want to see more Intel content on the channel? There's Battle Mage, there's plenty of stuff to be excited about. Intel are in a bad way, and I think the only way for them to go is up from this point, so it'll be interesting to see those independent reviews and stuff like that. Keep it here on Computer Games Hardware. Please like, share, and subscribe to get more details about upcoming CPUs, GPUs, and all that good stuff. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I've had a really good time talking about this one. I hope you've had a good time watching it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.